Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Brian. We're back today with the ClareCast, and on today's episode, it's a very wonderful time we get to spend with Sue and Gail, and they're going to talk about the cancer care ministry that we have here at Clare Nazarene. So let's go. Well, it is my honor. Are you guys honored?
Definitely.
So.
What's the best word to use here, I guess? Along with the greatest podcast producer in the whole world, Joey Calico, as you can't see him, but you will. I'm Pastor Brian, and I'm here with Gail Losinger. She's in the white. That's smiling on your right, I would imagine. And then Sue Mandenbach. Is it Mandenbach or Mandenbach?
Manderbach.
Manderbach.
Yes.
There's an R?
Yes.
Is it on the... Do you use the R in your name? I don't remember seeing that. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're having a spelling lesson here today. Sue Manderbach. And that's good to have, right? Manderbach.
Yes.
I'm going to get it right. I just
Perfect.
call you Sue.
Perfect.
But these wonderful ladies are a great part of our church. Their families, them and their husbands. Mike is Sue's husband, and Bob. We'll have Bob on to talk about Center Shot sometime too, which is a great ministry to our kids for archery and everything. But these ladies lead up our cancer care ministry. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But Gail, give us a rundown of your and Bob's life, who you are, where you come from, your blood type, all that kind of thing. But
Well, Bob and I have been married for over 50 years. We basically ministered in Lapeer County. And then the last 8 years, we moved to this area when Bob retired as a teacher. And I was a nurse. And then we have started looking for a church, found Clare Nazarene, and became a part of that and been involved in ministry in different ways. And most recently in the last year, Sue and I actually partnered and been focused on the cancer care support ministry.
yeah, very good. And you and Bob are also our assembly, what do you call them, coordinators when we have district assembly here too, don't you? Keep that together. Did you do
Yes,
that
I
too?
have done that.
Yeah, yeah. Also, so what your career? Give us the background in your career and what you did for many years.
Okay, I became a mother first, so I gave pursuing my education to be the mother, and then later on, when my boys were in their early teens, maybe going into junior high, I had the opportunity to go back to school. So I became a nurse, and God has taken me in many different ways. I worked in ER, oncology, hospice, and management, education. So I actually retired as an employee health nurse and quality nurse. So my education and my job opportunities have given me a lot of good experience and a lot of meeting wonderful people.
Absolutely, oncology nurse. And it's amazing when you see what we're going to talk about here in a minute, how God has pieced so much of that together for what we're talking about
True.
here even right now. And you may have said it, how many years were you in that field?
Oncology specific? Oncology specific kind of overlapped a lot in hospice too, because a lot of our patients were dealing with cancer in that arena as well. So probably over 12, 15 years between the two.
Right. Thank you for that. That's a great service to folks, and you have a lot of knowledge. But it's not just knowledge. You have a great heart, and you're very compassionate. So
I hope so.
For sure. And you and Bob, now you moved up here from where?
Lapeer.
Lapeer. How far is Lapeer from here? I've heard of that.
Just about 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay.
My family actually lived in this area for a number. Actually, my grandparents were born around Rosebush, Michigan. And then the Depression took them to Oakland County to find work. Okay. And so when they retired, they came back here. And so I've been coming up here my whole life, basically, as a kid. And then we actually retired here because this is where Bob wanted to be.
Yeah, good.
So.
Good. Shout out to the metropolis of Rosebush. Thank you for tuning in here today. That's it. Our our numbers just spiked over that way for sure. Sue, give us some background on your and Mike's life and your careers and everything.
Actually, Mike and I went to high school together at the same time. We didn't know each other. We've been married 47 years. Right after we got married, we moved to Idaho for 5 years until we had our son, and then we moved back to the Clare area, which is where I was born and reared. And we started a family. I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years. Raised my family, total privilege, exactly what I wanted to do, but I've had many jobs. I've worked in a pediatric ward as a ward clerk. I've worked at an eye doctor's office. I've been at the hospital as a contingent in radiology. The last 21 years of my life, I was a parapro or a teacher's aide at Clare Public Schools here in Clare. So I've had many jobs in the area, but the biggest one and the one that I loved the most was raising my family. Yeah. I have a son and a daughter, and we came to this church 28 years ago. We were invited to a small group by a couple who was still here, and then got involved in church and have been here ever since. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. 28 years.
Yes.
That's good. And this is home.
Yes.
Now, what took you to Idaho? Can I ask, or would you rather not say? Were you running from the law or something? Or
No, not at all.
Okay, good. I had to ask.
As I said, we went to high school together, but Mike enlisted in the Air Force after he graduated high school. He was stationed in Mountain Home, Idaho, in the Air Force. Okay. When he got out of the Air Force, he came back to Clare, and that's when we actually met and started dating, and then became a Christian while he was in the service, and wanted to attend a Christian school, but wanted to get back to Idaho because he loved the area, and he thought he would take me on that adventure with him. So we got married. We loaded up a pickup truck with a U-Haul trailer and everything we owned, and no jobs lined up, but knew he was going to attend Northwest Nazarene College in Idaho, and went out, found jobs. He enrolled in school, and it was beautiful out there. Absolutely loved it. But then when my son was born, we decided there's no family out here, and we want our kids to know their grandparents and aunts and uncles. So that's when we came back to the Clare area, and we've been here ever since.
It's really amazing how kids change the dynamic of a family in more ways than one. But coming close to family, I understand that completely. And Northwest is a beautiful college too. Every time we have any Nazarene functions and they're there, they have the best looking brochures because they always have bright red. This is me being weird for a minute. But then they have the best pens. And we all know how much I love pens. So those are fantastic too.
That's reason enough to attend there.
I want to go because of that. Yeah, for sure. So your background's your mother's at heart. And I can see that because of your nurturing side. And I've had a front row seat to that and how you care for folks. But I also know you definitely have a heart to help people just to be that hands and feet of Jesus to them. When I got here, our family's been going on 5 years now, but I've only been on staff for over a year now. The first thing that God really laid on my heart was the cancer care ministry out in Illinois. It used to be Cancer Treatment Center of America. Now it's called Our Journey of Hope, or what's the hospital's name now? The ministry is Our Journey of Hope, but the hospital is, we'll put that in there in a minute. We just went blank. I can't think of what
Cancer Center.
Is it Cancer Center?
No,
I think
it's City of Hope.
City of Hope. Thank you.
City of Hope.
Which I love that name very much so, because they do offer hope. They're a Christ-centered hospital. And Gail, I'll let you take it from there. I opened the book, but you read the first chapter of the book here of how the ministry got started here.
Well, initially, Pastor Brian actually contacted me and asked if I would be interested to do a kind of a podcast training. And I asked him if it was strictly for us, meaning himself and myself, or if it was open to other people. And we knew that Sue would be interested. So we reached out and we joined as a team and went through that training. It was review for Pastor Brian, but it was new for Sue and I. And we finished that training and kind of put a pause on it because our next step was what, Sue?
Our next step was we were already signed up for a missions trip to go to Ohio. Initially was supposed to work in schools, which was an attraction for me, but ended up being something totally different. And the Lord really impacted my life in revealing to me about being the hands and feet of Christ and seeing people where they're at and through his eyes to value them. And so Gail and I went on that trip together. And then when we came back, November, we started forming a training for a team to come alongside with us so that we could get the ministry started. And then we actually launched it in February.
February.
Yeah.
We took them through the training in January and we launched it in February here at the church. And now we've kind of expanded. Do you want to highlight?
We've seen the continual need of a bigger team, so we actually did a second training, and our team now consists of 9 individuals. And we started praying about how we would make ourselves available to minister to the people that are on this journey of experiencing cancer, or even if it's for the caregivers that are needing the support. And God has evolved it in quite an amazing way. We were just talking, it's kind of like a flower that's a tight bud, and petal by petal it opens up, and we're seeing God at work.
And on our mission trip, I remember going into different areas and it was uncomfortable. And sometimes things are uncomfortable and God is stretching us. And that was my prayer, that God would stretch me. Here I am at the age that I am and reflecting back to see just what I've accomplished for him, and the boldness and the stretching that he's done in my life has made me want to pursue helping people. So.
Yeah. And unfortunately, cancer exists. We say this all the time, and we're talking about it when we see people that come in that need the help. It's a little different than, just drawing people in. Where you get excited, not because, yay, it's because, okay, we can help them. But we hate the disease with every fiber of our being, obviously. So we hate the fact that we have to have a ministry toward it, but we're thankful that God has given us the ability to reach to people. And it's not just to the person dealing with the disease, which is very hard, but it's also for the family, right, Gail?
Yes. And initially it's reaching to our church family, but we did not want it to stop there. We want it to be a community outreach. So it can be from another church. It can be somebody that does not even choose a specific church, but we want it to be a ministry that is kind of a blanket to our whole community.
Yeah. And the info has been put out there. You guys just presented to the Clare area ministers meeting we have every month and did a great job. And they have the information as well, because what we're trying to do, every church family's limited to do so many things on their own. Now, as the body, we're like, well, we may not be able to do it this well, because I had a pastor tell me when we left, he's like, but I know I have you guys and we can count on you if we have folks that need this special kind of care. And you guys both have perspectives on this disease in different ways. So helping people and their families with this means a lot to both of you. You both have your own journeys with it. So you seeing it as an oncology nurse, and you dealt with it in your own family.
Correct.
And that gives you a special heart, which I see it in action all the time with it. And I appreciate that about both of you. Let's get into the actual working of it. Then, Sue, what does it look like? If somebody say you get a diagnosis, what would be the first thing they would do?
We do have a referral card if they're here at church that they can fill out, or they can call Gail or I. We have brochures out. They contact us, and we kind of get a feel for where they're at and what they're doing, and then we refer them to one of our team members after we've discussed it, and somebody contacts them fairly quickly after we've talked with them to come alongside of them and make time to spend with them and see how we can help. It's mainly coming alongside and being a friend. Cancer, the disease of cancer, is very isolating and can be very lonely at times, and they might not have a lot of support family-wise or community-wise or church-wise, and they just need somebody to talk to or listen to what's going on in their life and be valued for where they're at.
It is definitely a relationship type of ministry and with a spiritual focus. We would love to support them through prayer and scripture as well, but a lot of times it's very practical help. Maybe just meeting for coffee, maybe just dropping something off. They maybe need a quart of milk, so you just drop it off. It can be just a phone call, a text once in a while, let them know we're thinking of them.
And I know this is needed probably to be said. What is it not? What is this ministry not? We say, oh, you're here for me, then there could be a long list of things that folks might want you to do, or what I'm getting at. What would kind of give us a parameter of what you just said it. So to being involved in their lives, it doesn't mean every little thing. That would be impossible, right? So
Right.
kind of talk about the parameters of it a little bit deeper.
We definitely are not home care.
Yeah.
If you think of that in a practical way, we're not there to help them in a physical way, as far as
Hands-on care.
hands-on care. We're not necessarily there to advise them in treatment. We might be able to provide a resource that we're aware of. Could be financial support, could be getting something that they need. If we have resources that we know how to contact a service or be able to give them numbers, maybe provide numbers for them. If we can connect them financially with a foundation that might help. But basically, we're coming alongside to just be there. It could be a hospital visit if they just are in a situation where they just need somebody to come and be with them. This can be very sensitive, very confidential things that go on with a cancer diagnosis. So we just want to be a friend, basically, and so that they don't feel alone, that there is somebody out there that really wants to listen. Are we going to do chores around the house? If we're capable of doing that or have the time to do that, we will, if not, try and find a resource for them. But that necessarily is not, we're not going to meet all of their needs when it comes to where they're at, but we will meet that spiritual support.
We may even be able to do some transportation, help them. But again, it's individual basis. We can't promise anything, but we do want the relationship and connection to be encouragement and come alongside.
Yeah. It's not hospice or home health or something like that.
Correct.
Just being clear, because it can you can see the words and think, we're not, you find out that you were a nurse. You still really, I don't know that you ever were a nurse. You always are, really. Your heart is there, but you know what I mean. You never stop.
I have a
being
current
that.
license. Let's say that.
She's still a nurse. If you got a license, I'm a driver. I have a driver's license. So, you know what I mean? And I think that's just important. I'm not trying to be mean, but even in ministry, we're volunteers trying our best to a group of great volunteers that are just trying to be Jesus to people and just kind of fill gaps that these other entities maybe can't get to all the time or as frequently.
Correct.
And so they get a care basket first, right? You're delivering one today.
We do have a care bag that we prepare that might have some physical things that they might need in there if they're making trips for treatment or hospital visits or anything that they would need to carry some things along with them when they go. So we prepare that, and it contains a water bottle and a blanket and some necessities that they might need within that care bag. So we do have that as something that we can give.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you get to that point, somebody from the group is assigned to the family, to the member, correct?
That is correct.
And how does that flow?
Once we get a referral or we are aware of a need from a caregiver or an individual experiencing cancer, Sue and I make contact with them, make sure they're open, they want to receive what we have. And at that point, we let them know that we will be assigning or matching them with a team member. And then that team member kind of takes the reins at that point, and they make contact and start developing the relationship. And if there's any questions or concerns, they come back to Sue and I, and we try to field them, sometimes with you to get some guidance. But most of the time, we have always found that it's been pretty special. The team members come back and comment how blessed they feel being teamed one-on-one. So we kind of leave it in their court, how they want the relationship to look like and what they're capable of. We don't try to put them in a mold or stereotype them, but it's pretty organic. Some of them meet for coffee. Some of them meet for a visit. Some of them come to the bedside. Some of them go for a walk. It can look a lot different depending on the individual.
And that brings up the fact that every situation is going to require different levels of involvement. Some people are okay with just a little check-in. And some, God willing, they're healed or in remission or the needs back up a little bit. But we've, in a short time with this, have carried it right on through taking care of the last things for an individual, and their you know what I mean, that family. We went through that whole thing right to hosting the service right here at the church for them. Others are at different levels, right? So when you go into it and you get the name, they really stay written on your heart forever in one way or another. And we're just prepared to go as far as we have to, right?
Exactly.
How do you get yourself prepared emotionally for that?
Emotionally, I do a lot of praying before I go. I believe that you should be prayed up before you go into a situation. And again, it might not be something that you're just having conversation with them. I just want to be the hands and feet and the eyes of God. So I want to be blanketed with His Holy Spirit and be able to portray that out to whoever it is I'm working with. Again, it does take a piece of your heart when you're working with somebody, because it could be long-term, it could be short-term. Like you said, they could go into remission, and they might not need that companionship for a time. And so I'm just trusting the Lord's going to give me the strength and the emotion to be able to be there for them. But we have a hope, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what we are. We're the journey of hope. We're bringing encouragement, support, and hope. And so I just blanket myself and clothe myself in that. And hopefully, I know I've been blessed. Gail and I have been together as a team with somebody who is very special to us that we worked with for a period of 3 years that we met with. And it was an honor and a privilege to be part of her journey. And like you said, we've had family members that have been touched by this disease, and I can't explain it. It is a total privilege to be part of that.
I think sometimes we come away from that contact more blessed than the person that we went to minister to.
You see that in ministry, period. We sure do, all of us do. But in what you're saying, it's a blessing because you see strength, you see resolve, but it comes down to hope. That's why I love our journey of hope, that they call it that. And when I look back on what you're talking about with who you guys walked with, you were doing this ministry before this ever was started. That's why I think God already had this in mind where you're at now, because you guys were already carrying that out a long time ago. So I think He gets us ready, whether we realize it or not. And then when He speaks to us, like you said on your mission trip, it was like, it's time. Okay, ladies, let's go. And when He says, let's go, He claps twice and we get behind Him and He takes off, right? And then lastly, A new arm of the ministry has just popped up here in the last little bit, the support group. Tell us about
Yes.
that.
We actually have a cancer care support group ministry that we are going to launch in July.
Yes.
The 21st. It'll be ongoing once a month. It'll be the third Tuesday of every month. It'll be from 6 to 7:30 right here in a room downstairs in our church. And anybody can come, whether you are the caregiver, whether you just recently received a diagnosis of cancer, or you're somewhere in the journey of that cancer journey, then you are more than welcome. And we bring a friend to support. But we have a couple of us are going through the training. It's a very Christian-focused training, but we are going through that training, and we will be meeting monthly to come alongside you in a different way than just to visit in a relationship.
I love that. I love that. And when you see that, it makes you wonder what else God's going to do. You know, this is going to be the center. You know, He just starts popping up all these different things that are coming to life, and other people are going to come along to help. I already feel like God's already dealing with people as we're talking here. You know, I'd like to be a part of that. That sounds like something I can get involved in, because it's not like an 80-hour-a-week job, but if you have a heart to help, it can be as much of an investment as you want it to be. You know, whatever you
True.
can do. You could be the driver to go get medicine for somebody, or you could, go whatever it is, But the support group to me is and it makes sense, because it's getting out of the house, number one, which is huge for somebody, either the sick person or the caregiver, and then having us there to be with them and support them, which is very good. Of course, our number one support is Christ, and we're thankful that He gives us the opportunity to do anything for anybody, right? Sue, any last thoughts? What else can you share about the ministry or about yourself or where you're at with the Lord? I'll tell you what, I'm going on the fly here, so you're going to probably punch me when this whole thing is done. Be ready with your answer, Gail.
Did you go to Gail first? No. No.
There's a pivot here. We're going this way now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Where do you feel like God has you right now, Sue? What's God telling you in the season of life that you're in at this moment?
Move. Be bold. Stand up for me. Time is near. You need to be acting and moving. I'm not going to be here forever, but hopefully there will be an impact left by allowing Him to use me as a vessel. That's all I want, is to be filled up with the Lord and be able to pass that out on His behalf. So at the stage I'm in, I'm ready to go. I mean, I'd never been on a mission trip before. That was my first time. I know Gail's been on several. That was my first time. I wanted to experience it with people I didn't know, so that God could really do a work in me. I didn't want any preconceived notion as to what it was going to be and what it was. Just, I basically laid myself out and said, Lord, I just need you to tell me where you want me to go. And with what Gail and I had experienced, I agree with you, Pastor Brian. That experience and the personal family experience that I had, knew that God had something somewhere out there where I could use the experiences that I had to help benefit somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's life. The things that you got going on can always end up being shared to help somebody, as hard as they are even. But when you said what He's telling you, I felt there's a jolt that went through me right there. That's good. Move. We don't have a lot of time left, do we? That's good.
No.
Bless you, Sue. All right, Gail.
One of the things I try to pray every day is, God, here I am, use me today. And I don't know what you have, but make me obedient to follow that and feel where your Spirit's leading. And right now, this is where God has Sue and I. But I don't want it to be just the program, but I want it to be individual. I want God to be seen through myself or through our team, through our church. Like Sue said, our time, I think, is short, and we only have so many opportunities, and I don't want to let my Father down, my Heavenly Father down.
Amen.
So here I am available.
Yeah. The two of you inspire me. I just want you to know that. You always have. The days we had in the training were special, and God just began to stir something up and start something. I honor both of you, and I thank you both for taking the time to do this and coming in here even. I don't know what's intimidating about lights and microphones, and the sweet face of Joey Calico over here just brings us all right to the right level. But there's a lot with it, but it shows that you want people to know that we're here and we love them and that Christ has the answer, no matter what their situation, even in the physical. He's there. So thank you both. And we just want God to bless you and your homes and all you're doing. And I'm honored to get to walk with you. So thank you. And thanks for being on here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for helping us and getting us motivated in the right direction.
Yes.
Well, thanks for doing it. That's fantastic. I can talk all day long, but, that's good. But thank you. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Hey there, my name is Brianna. Just want to say thanks for tuning in to the ClareCast podcast. I just wanted to give you the weekly announcements for the Clare Church of Nazarene. So first up, we've got the CCN Cruise In that's happening July 14th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We've got a lot of cool cars coming in. We've got some food. We've got some live performances by Joey Calico and Ryan Ames. Just wanted to say that, hey, check it out. It's going to be a really great time. Next off, we have the Quilts of Love. They meet every second and fourth Tuesday of the month from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they're located at UL7. For all the ladies, welcome. We've got Salt and Pepper July 17th from 10 a.m. to noon. So come on in and join for all the ladies and have a great time. So for our weekly events on Mondays at 8:30, we've got Women's Prayer Group in UL2. Also at 8:30, we have the Men's Coffee and CEN Foyers downstairs. Wednesdays at 5:30, we got Pickleball located in the FLC. Wednesdays at 6:30, we have Prayer Group in LL1. Thursdays at 9 a.m., we have the Warriors Bible Recap CEN Foyer. And then each first Friday of each month, we have the ladies meeting over at the Doherty Hotel, starting at 9 a.m. Last but not least, we've got our 5th annual CCN Car Show and Craft Show coming up. It's going to be located here right over at the Clare Church of Nazarene. They'll be taking place on 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So make sure you stop by and check out all the cool cars and all the crafts that we've got going on. We'd love to see you there. If you'd like to register your car for the Classic Car Show, we'll be holding registration from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and that's going to be costing $20. So we'd love for you to come along and join the fun. And that concludes all. My name is Brianna, and thank you so much for joining in, and that's all of our weekly announcements. God bless.